Hello, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the video lecture series. Dear friends, we are discussing the food analysis, and our current chapter is fifth chapter, that is analysis of lipids. Yesterday we have seen some analysis such as peroxide value, then conjugated dienes and trines, then Totox value, para-anicidine value, etc. Now we are at the end of our chapter. Our today's discussion point is lipid oxidation, evaluating oxidative stability. So here, first of all, we will learn about what is meant by lipid oxidation. The term rancidity is there. So what is this rancidity? So see, when these fats and oils are kept for a longer time, when these fats and oils are kept for a longer time, then after some time, after some days, a off odor of flavor is coming from these fats and oils. ऑफ ऑर्डर, जो हम उसको गंदा स्मेल बोलते हैं, ऑफ ऑर्डर और ऑफ फ्लेवर इज कमिंग फ्रॉम दैट food sample or that oil and fats. That is nothing but rancidity of oil, that is nothing but rancidity of that fat. Okay, and this rancidity is resulting from the lipolysis. This rancidity is resulting from the lipolysis or lipid oxidation. Okay, so this is the cause of rancidity. Now let us say about lipid oxidation. Now what is this lipid oxidation? The lipids or fats undergone self oxidation because this is a self-sustaining free radical mechanism. They undergo oxidation by a self-sustaining free radical mechanism, and they are producing primary oxidizing products and secondary oxidizing products. So the primary oxidizing products are peroxides and hydroperoxides. Peroxides and hydroperoxides are the primary oxidizing products of lipid oxidation, and the secondary oxidizing products are aldehydes, alkenes, conjugated dienes, trines, alkenes, then aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids, and other organic volatiles, other organic compounds. Okay, so these are the secondary oxidizing products of lipid oxidation. Now this is of no use, means lipid oxidation must be not occur in our lipids or food sample or in our fat sample. So that we have to define the next term, that is oxidative stability. Oxidative stability, and this oxidative stability is nothing but resistance to the lipid oxidation. Resistance of lipids to this oxidation is called as oxidative stability. Okay, so it is opposite to that of oxidation. It is called as oxidative stability. Now the next term is induction period. Okay, so what is this induction period? Period means it is a time. So we have a food sample or a fat sample, or let us say oil sample. At the start, the rate of this lipid oxidation in that food is very slow, and as time passes, this rate of lipid oxidation or lipolysis is suddenly increases, and that is known as accelerated rate of oxidation. Okay, and this is the time the time before acceleration of lipid oxidation, the time before acceleration of lipid oxidation is called as induction period. See here, this is the graph. On y-axis it is lipid oxidation is plotted versus time. So the two curves are shown here. The first curve is related to the lipid oxidation curve without antioxidant. Antioxidants are the substances which are added in these lipids or fat samples to avoid lipid oxidation, such as BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene. So this compound is acting as antioxidant. In most of the food products, these antioxidants are added to avoid this lipid oxidation. So if we are adding this is the curve for lipid oxidation without antioxidant. So that's why if we are not using antioxidant, this time is very less, and hence the induction period we can say it is less. So within a short period of time, the accelerated rate of lipid oxidation starts. Okay, and if we use antioxidant, then the acceleration rate of this lipid oxidation is starting after some time. So this is the time lag between the lipid oxidation without antioxidant and with antioxidant. Okay, so this is the concept of induction period. Now the next point is fatty acid composition and Fermi. Fatty acid composition and Fermi. Fermi is related to fatty acid methyl esters. So how these fatty acids composition and Fermi it is determined? When saponification of these triglycerides, that is lipids, is done, then some of the fatty acid molecules are remain as it is in the free state. Means they are not bonding to the glyceride molecule. Okay, they are termed as free fatty acids, FFA, free fatty acids. Okay, and some of them can be converted into methyl esters. Okay, and they are called as fatty acids methyl esters. Fatty acids methyl esters, or in short Fermi. This can be done by simple reaction between, this is a triglyceride, okay, that is a glycerol molecule with a long chain fatty acids, triglyceride is there. When we treat this with a methanol and NaOH, sodium methoxide is be formed. Sodium methoxide, NaOMe, NaOCH3 will be formed, and this NaOCH3 molecule is capable of forming trans-esterification product. So actually these fatty acids are, so let us see, this is the part of fatty acids. So these fatty acids are the esters of this glycerol. Okay, and here trans-esterification takes place, and we are getting here methyl esters of these fatty acids, methyl esters of these long chain fatty acids. They are called as fatty acid methyl esters or Fermi. This sodium methoxide is unable to react with this Fermi. Okay, and this sodium methoxide is unable to react with this free acid. Okay, and here this is converted to methyl ethers of glycerol. Okay, this is the reaction between them. Okay, now these free fatty acids, FFA, can be treated by they are not reacting with this sodium methoxide. Okay, and hence in this way we can analyze the free fatty acids composition and Fermi by using this reaction. Now the last point of this chapter is related to the separation of these fatty acids and lipids by thin layer chromatography. Okay, so we know that the basics of thin layer chromatography, TLC. So the stationary phase is there and one is mobile phase, and in some cases we are using spraying reagents. Here the stationary phase in silica gel chromatography is silica gel, okay, and the mobile phase here hexane and diethyl ether. Then hexane, diethyl ether and formic acid is there. Okay, so this is a combination of mobile phase can be used here. Then spraying reagent is 2-7-dichlorofluorescein. Okay, this reagent can be used as a spraying reagent which gives a visualization of the spots after development of the thin layer chromatogram. Okay, then this is the simple or a schematic diagram of the separation of these triglycerides and fatty acids or FAME by using thin layer chromatography. So this is the origin or space where we can give a spotting. This is the solvent front. Then these are separation of different components, that is monoglycerol, monoacetyl glycerol, diacetyl glycerol, then free fatty acids, triacetyl glycerol, steroids, etc. Okay, so this is the way that we can analyze all these fatty acids and lipids and oils by the different techniques. Okay, so here we have completed our chapter, that is analysis of lipids, chapter number 5. Okay, in next lecture we will see the protein part or analysis of proteins. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for watching this video.